"I will do everything your Majesty commands," replied D'Artagnan. The queen reflected for a moment, and then, seeing the cautious demeanour of the musketeer, "Perhaps you like repose," she said. "I do not know, for I have never had it. Madame, have you any friends? I had three, two of whom have left Paris, to go I know not where. One alone is left to me, but he is one of those known, I believe, to the cavalier of whom your Majesty did me the honour to speak." "Very good," said the queen. "You and your friend are worth an army. What am I to do?" "Madame, return at 5 o'clock, and I will tell you, but do not breathe to a living soul." "Sir, the rendezvous which I give you—" "No, madame, swear it upon the cross." "Madame, I have never been false to my word. When I say I will not do a thing, I mean it." The queen, although astonished at this language, to which she was not accustomed from her courtiers, argued from it a happy omen of the zeal with which D'Artagnan would serve her in the accomplishment of her project. It was one of the Gascon's artifice to hide his deep cunning occasionally under an appearance of rough loyalty. "Has the queen any further commands for me now?" asked D'Artagnan. "No, sir," replied Anne of Austria, "and you may retire until the time that I mentioned to you." D'Artagnan bowed and went out. "Diable!" he exclaimed when the door was shut. "They seem to have the greatest need of me just now." Then, as the half hour had already glided by, he crossed the gallery and knocked at the cardinal's door. Bernouin introduced him. "I come for your commands, and—" "My lord," he said, and according to his custom D'Artagnan glanced rapidly around, and remarked that Mazarin had a sealed letter before him, but it was so placed on the desk that he could not see to whom it was addressed. "You come from the queen?" said Mazarin, looking fixedly at D'Artagnan. "I, my lord, who told you that?" "Nobody, but I know it. I regret infinitely to tell you—" "My lord, that you are mistaken," replied the Gascon, impudently, firm to the promise he had just made to Anne of Austria. "I opened the door of the anteroom myself, and I saw you enter at the end of the corridor, because I was shown up the private stairs." "How so?" "I know not, it must have been a mistake." Mazarin was aware that it was not easy to make D'Artagnan reveal anything he was desirous of hiding, so he gave up, for the time, the discovery of the mystery the Gascon was concealing. "Let us speak of my affairs," said Mazarin. "Since you will tell me naught of yours, are you fond of travelling?" "My life has been passed on the high road." "Would anything retain you particularly in Paris?" "Nothing but an order from a superior would retain me in Paris." "Very well. Here is a letter, which must be taken to its address." "To its address, my lord, but it has none. In fact, the side of the letter opposite the seal was blank." "I must tell you," resumed Mazarin, "that it is in a double envelope. I understand, and I am to take off the first one when I have reached a certain place." "Just so. Take it and go. You have a friend, Monsieur du Vallon, whom I like much. Let him accompany you." "The devil!" said D'Artagnan to himself. "He knows that we overheard his conversation yesterday, and he wants to get us away from Paris." "Do you hesitate?" asked Mazarin. "No, my lord, and I will set out at once. There is one thing only which I must request." "What is it? Speak." "That your eminence will go at once to the queen." "What for?" "Merely to say these words. I am going to send Monsieur d'Artagnan away, and I wish him to set out directly." "I told you," said Mazarin, "that you had seen the queen. I had the honour of saying to your eminence that there had been some mistake." "What is the meaning of that? May I venture to repeat my prayer to your eminence?" "Very well, I will go. Wait here for me." And looking attentively around him, to see if he had left any of his keys in his closets, Mazarin went out. 10 minutes elapsed, during which D'Artagnan made every effort to read through the first envelope what was written on the second. But he did not succeed. Mazarin returned, pale, and evidently thoughtful. He seated himself at his desk, and D'Artagnan proceeded to examine his face, as he had just examined the letter he held, but the envelope which covered his countenance appeared as impenetrable as that which covered the letter.